So welcome student. So in this video we will read in electrochemistry what do you mean by electrolysis and electrolytic cell. First we know what is electrolytic cell because electrolytic cell this is the reverse of galvanic cell. In the galvanic cell two electrodes are dipped in two different containers, but in electrolytic cell two different electrodes are dipped in one container. In galvanic cell, salt bridge is required, but in electrolytic cell, salt bridge is not required. Galvanic cell produces electric current due to chemical reaction, but here chemical reaction takes place after passing electric current. Clear? Then galvanic cell was completely spontaneous, yes or no? But if you pass electric current, reaction takes place, and if you not pass, that means if you switch off this, then no chemical reaction takes place. So that's why this is called an electrolytic cell. And in this cell, the concept is coming electrolysis. So electrolysis means what? Breaking. So electrolysis means breaking or decomposition of chemical species takes place by passing electric current. Okay, so this is the meaning of electrolysis. You know, in lower section, lower class, you have read electrolysis of water. That means if you pass electric current using different electron, yes or no? So in the cathode and anode, hydrogen and oxygen gas will be evolved. So this is called electrolysis. So in electrolysis, two concepts are coming. One concept is it's a theoretical concept. Second concept is it's a mathematical concept. So theoretical concept is called product of electrolysis, yes or no, which is just after this part. And first it is coming the mathematical part, yes or no. And the mathematical part or the mathematical concept was given by the great scientist Faraday. So according to his name in electrolysis, there are two laws. One is called Faraday first law and another one is called Faraday second law. Okay, so first we will read what is Faraday law of first law of electrolysis. So according to Faraday, you see, suppose if we will take here one container, so in this container two electrodes are dipped and outside we are passing electric current. Okay, so when we are passing electric current, here chemical reaction takes place, and you know electrolytic cell is the reverse of the galvanic cell. So here one is positive, another one is negative. So here positive is anode, here positive is anode and negative is what? Cathode. So what is the first law? The law said that when we are passing electric current, the amount of substance will be deposited over different electrodes. So if we pass more electric current, more amount of substance will be deposited. Got the idea? So what is the theory? So the theory is the law states that during electrolysis, the amount of substance deposited at any electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through it. That means when if you pass more quantity of electricity, more amount of substance will be deposited either over cathode or anode. Okay, so mathematically W means the amount of substance deposited is directly proportional to I, yes or no? W is also directly proportional to T. Okay, T is the time, or we can say W is directly proportional to IT. IT is called Coulomb, yes or no? Q, or W equals to some constant Z into IT. What is Z? Z is called electrochemical equivalent. Okay, Z is called electrochemical equivalent. This is called Z. So Z equals to W by IT. Z equals to W by IT. So I is the current. So current here I always will measure in ampere, T time, it is in second. Clear? Now see. So theoretical question, define Z. Define electrochemical equivalent. So electrochemical equivalent Z equals to W when I and T are 1. Yes or no? So we can write like this. So when I equals to 1 ampere, T equals to 1 second, then Z equals to W. So how can we define it theoretically? So electrochemical equivalent is defined as the amount of substance deposited over the cathode or anode when 1 ampere current passing through the electrolyte for 1 second. Clear? So this is the meaning of Z. So Z equals to W when I equals to 1, T equals to 1 second. So this is called the Faraday first law. Got the idea? So in the first law, 1 beaker, 1 electrolyte, 2 electrodes are dipped. Outside we are passing electric current. When more amount of current or more amount of charge when you will pass, more amount of substance will be deposited. Clear? So this is called the Faraday first law. Next is, what is Faraday's second law? Faraday's second law is same amount of current. First we will see the picture. Same amount of current. Suppose if we will take 3 electrodes, 3 containers, okay? Container A, container B, container C. Suppose A contain zinc sulfate, B contain copper sulfate, C suppose contain AgNO3. So here we have inserted electrodes, and these electrodes are connected in pattern. These electrodes are connected in like this. Outside we are passing electric current. So second law states that when same amount of current we are passing through different electrolytes which are connected in series, the amount of substance deposited over each electrode is equals to its equivalent weight. The amount of substance deposited over each electrode, yes or no, is proportional to its equivalent weight. So here suppose you see, here zinc metal will be deposited, here copper metal will be deposited, here silver metal will be deposited. So we can write like this: W zinc means amount of zinc deposited by W copper, amount of copper deposited equals to equivalent weight of zinc by equivalent weight of copper. Okay, similarly, or we can write, or means you can compare with any two metals. Okay, W copper by WAg equals to equivalent weight of copper by equivalent weight of Ag. Okay, so this value will be always fixed because equivalent, we know equivalent weight equals to its atomic mass divided by valency. So for zinc, what is the equivalent weight of zinc? So zinc atomic mass is 65 by valency 2. Yes or no? Equivalent weight of copper. So 63.5 by valency 2. Equivalent weight of silver, Ag, equals to how much? 108 by valency 1. Clear? So this data you see, this data always fixed because we know this. Only when question will come, either W zinc will be given, either WCU, or WAg will be given, calculate WCU, W zinc. Clear? So like this what the questions are coming. So these are the two what your mathematical part of your electrolysis. Faraday first law and Faraday second law. Clear now? Okay. Okay, so next is, what is the formula of Z? Sir, how can we calculate Z, electrochemical equivalent? So Z equals to equivalent weight of the substance divided by 96,500. So if you use this formula, you can calculate. Otherwise, you see, suppose you don't know the formula, we don't know what is Z, we forget. So you see, in this method means quantitative aspects of electrolysis also, in this method also we can calculate what is the amount of substance deposited. Means Faraday's first law can be, you see, in this method also we can solve. So you see, so what are the quantitative aspects of electrolysis? So quantitative aspects of electrolysis means, first you will see some example. Suppose in the solution silver nitrate is present. So if silver nitrate is present means silver it is in which state? Silver it is present in Ag plus aqueous. Okay, so Ag plus aqueous, when it gain one electron, then it will become Ag solid. So this reaction at negative means at cathode this reaction takes place. That means when we pass electric current, Ag plus, after gaining one electron, Ag means over cathode silver metal will be deposited. Clear now? So here how many electron? One. Similarly, another example you see. Suppose Zn2 plus aqueous, when we gain 2 electron, then zinc solid will be deposited. Yes or no? So that's why how can you remember or how can you calculate what amount of metal will be deposited over the cathode? Because cathode is what? Here cathode is negative. So over negative positive reaction takes place and over positive negative reaction takes place. So here we can remember like this. What is the coefficient of this electron? 1. So we can write when 1 farad charge passed through this solution, 1 mole of silver deposited. Again, its coefficient is 1. So when 1 farad charge passed through the solution, 1 mole of silver deposited. So 1 farad means how much? 96,500 coulomb. So when 96,500 coulomb pass through the solution, 1 mole silver is how much? 180 gram. So when coulomb will be given, charge will be given, we can easily calculate by unitary method. 96,500 coulomb, 180 gram. 1 coulomb, how much? Given coulomb, how much? Okay, similarly, come to zinc here. So when 2 farad charge pass through the solution, 2 mole or 1 mole, because zinc is 1, so 1 mole of zinc deposited. That means 2 into 96,500 coulomb charge when passed through the solution, 1 mole of zinc. 1 mole of zinc means 65 gram will be deposited. So 1 coulomb how much? Given coulomb how much? Okay, so this is the method by which we can calculate easily. So in this method, no Z is required. Directly we can calculate how much amount of W or how much amount of substance will be liberated or deposited either cathode or anode. Clear now? So this is the your quantitative aspects of electrolysis. So Faraday first law, Faraday second law. So Faraday first law also we can be we can solve in this method. Now you see here I have written some numerical. So how can we solve this numerical using first law and a second law? So here question 1 is, when a solution of copper sulfate is electrolyzed for 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 ampere, what is the mass of copper deposited? Clear? That means Faraday first law. So here what is the solution given? Copper sulfate given. So copper sulfate means direct we can write Cu2 plus aqueous. When it gain 2 electron, it will become copper solid. Yes or no? So when 2 into 96,500 coulomb charge passed, 1 mole of copper deposited. 1 mole of copper, its atomic mass 63.5 gram. Now we got this relation. Now come to what are the data given. So data given, time equals to how much? Time equals to 10 minutes equals to 600 second. I ampere equals to 1 point how much? 1.5. So what is Q? We know Q equals to IT. So 600 into 1.5 equals to 900 coulomb. Now we got the relation. So when it is 1 coulomb charge passed, 63.5 divided by 2 into 96,500 coulomb. Yes or no? Clear? Now how much question? So question, when 900 coulomb charge passed, how much gram of copper deposited? So 63.5 divided by 2 into 96,500 into 900. Yes or no? So which is equals to 0.296 gram of copper deposited at the cathode. Clear? Okay, so very easy. You see, no W is required. So this is the first question. So when the solution of copper sulfate is electrolyzed for 10 minutes with a current of 1.5 ampere, what is the mass of copper deposited? Clear now? Okay. So this is the meaning. Then come to the second question. What is the second question given? Second question given, how much charge is required for the following reaction? How much charge means how much coulomb required? So you see, question, answer is 1 mole of Al3 plus. So directly we know. So Al3 plus, when it gain 3 electrons, so it will become aluminium. So how much farad? 3 farad charge. So 3 into 96,500 coulomb. Clear? Similarly, second question. 1 mole of Cu2 plus, so 2 farad. So 2 farad means 2 into 96,500 coulomb required here. Third question, sir, 1 mole of MnO4 minus 2 Mn2 plus. So in this case, how can you calculate? Better you will go through oxidation number method. So you see, we know, third question, MnO4 minus. So what is the oxidation number? So we know how much it is? X plus 4 into minus 2 equals to minus 1. So X equals to plus 7. So in MnO4 minus, manganese oxidation number is plus 7. So it changes to dash. So it is Mn2 plus. So plus 7 to plus 2. How much change? 5 change. So when it is 5 electrons, so what is the coefficient? 5. That means 5 farad. So 5 farad means 5 into 96,500 coulomb. Got the idea? Very easy. So in this format, we can solve the numerical. Okay, this is the second. Similarly, suppose one more question now we will solve. Another question is, how much electricity is required? Question 3. How much electricity is required? How much electricity is required in coulomb for the following oxidation. So question is, bit 1 is 1 mole of H2O, 1 mole of H2O, 2 O2. Second question is 1 mole of FeO, 1 mole of FeO to Fe2O3. So you see, so how can you solve these two questions? Okay, so go through better by oxidation number method. So here you see direct, what is the oxidation number of water? So in the oxidation number of water, oxygen oxidation number is how much? -2. So here -2 in oxygen. What is the oxidation number of oxygen? 0. So -2 to 0. So how much change? -2 to 0. So -2 to 0 means it is 2 change. So how much farad required? 2 farad required. So how much electricity is required in coulomb? So coulomb means 2 into 96,500 coulomb. Okay, got the idea? Similarly, FeO to Fe2O3. So in FeO, what is the oxidation number of Fe? +2. In Fe2O3, what is the oxidation number of Fe? +3. So +2 to +3, how much change? 1 change. So how much farad? 1 farad. So 1 farad, that means 96,500 coulomb is required. Okay. So in this format, what we can solve. Okay, clear now? So in this method, so when in Faraday first law, better you go through this method. Okay, Z is not required. And in second method, direct formula is what? That means W1 by W2 equals to E1 by E2. Mass of the substance by mass of the second substance equals to equivalent mass of the first substance by equivalent mass of the second substance. Clear now? Okay, so like this.